Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from MicroStrategy, and let me tell you, it's a wild ride involving a whole lot of Bitcoin. It's the kind of report that makes you wonder if they're a software company or a crypto wallet with a NASDAQ ticker. We're looking at their latest filing, an 8K report, which is basically a snapshot of important events happening at the company. The main point is their ongoing strategy of buying more Bitcoin and how they're funding it. It is like watching someone betting it all in Vegas. But before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. This report is dated June 9th, 2025. This tells us that the events described in the report happened on or around that day. The main event here is MicroStrategy's update on its at-the-market offering programs, also known as ATM. Essentially, they're selling shares of their stock to raise money. Let's see what they are doing with the money. Here's where things get interesting. MicroStrategy has 3 ATM programs, one for their regular Class A common stock and 2 for their preferred stocks called STRA and STRF. They are selling the stocks to buy Bitcoin, and they are selling the stocks using the ATM program MITE. Let's focus on a few key numbers. The most important thing here is understanding how the company is using these programs. Looking at the period between June 2 and June 8, 2025, under the common ATM program, they didn't sell any common shares. However, they still have about $18.6 billion available to sell to 218,639 shares, which raised 62. They sold 629 shares, which raised 62.7 million shares, raising 420 finally. Under the STRF ATM, they sold 400 finally under the STRF ATM. They sold 453,679 shares, raising 43.3 million. If they still have ATM, they sold 400 and finally under the STRF ATM. They sold 432.6 billion available for issuance. And sale under this program to raise minor shares, raising $my for issuance and sale under this program. Finally, under the STRF ATM, they sold 432,779 shares, raising $42 available for issuance and sale under this programs to raise capital. The reason to buy more Bitcoin. Here it is, the Bitcoin update. This is the core of MicroStrategy's current strategy. Between June 2 and June 8, 2025, MicroStrategy acquired 1,045 Bitcoins. The aggregate purchase price was $110,105,426 per Bitcoin. This brings their total holdings to $586 per Bitcoin. This brings their total holdings to $500, investing 82,000 Bitcoins with an aggregate purchase price of $40.7 billion at an average purchase price of $70,086. They are either very confident about their investment or it's a very, very risky decision. It's important to note that the Bitcoin purchases were made using proceeds from the STRX ATM and STRF ATM programs. This confirms that they are indeed using the money from selling preferred stock to buy Bitcoin. The company is also pointing people to its website where it provides real-time update. This is a new way for the company to disseminate updates to the public. Now let's talk a bit about the company. Now let's step back and look at what this all means. MicroStrategy has essentially doubled down on its Bitcoin strategy. They're using these ATM programs to continuously raise capital and then funneling that capital directly into buying more Bitcoin. And this strategy has several implications. First, it makes MicroStrategy's stock price heavily correlated with the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy's stock likely goes up. If Bitcoin crashes, MicroStrategy could be in big trouble. It's not your typical company anymore. It is very exposed to market volatility. And second, it raises questions about the company's long-term strategy. Is MicroStrategy primarily a software company, or is it now a Bitcoin investment firm? Their financials are now closely tied to the cryptocurrency's performance, which could be a great thing or a very risky one. Or the third, diluting existing shareholders by selling more shares. Each existing share represents a smaller piece of the company anymore. It is very exposed to market volatility. Or second, it raises questions about the company's long-term strategy. Is MicroStrategy primarily a software company, or is it now a Bitcoin investment firm? Their financials are now closely tied to the cryptocurrency's performance, which could be a great thing or a very risky one. In conclusion, MicroStrategy is going all in on Bitcoin, using creative financing methods to accumulate a massive amount of the cryptocurrency. This is a very risky strategy as the company is very exposed to the rise and fall of Bitcoin. It will be a wild ride for MicroStrategy and its investors. And alright, that's our breakdown of MicroStrategy's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.